In this interview, President Trump totally collapsed. It's very tough to watch. I'm gonna share this video with you. It's really very important. I request you to watch the video till the end, and please have a look at this video, guys.
Donald Trump was interviewed this morning on CNBC and suffered a complete and total collapse. This is difficult to watch. This is difficult to listen to. And Trump actually admits he's afraid of falling down. What is fascinating about this, Trump says it in a sort of jokey way. But one of the things that many doctors, when I go to my dermatologist, I'm asked when I check in, have you fallen recently or are you worried about falling down? And if you say, I am worried about falling down, that triggers a certain intervention because the fear of falling down is something that can serve as a proxy to health and physical stability. And Trump said on CNN,
President Trump is falling down in upcoming midterms. Just wait for that.
BC this morning, I got to be careful. Now he makes it political. If I fall, it'll be a big story. But Trump is acknowledging here, which is fine. He's an elderly guy, obese and very out of shape. It's fine. But the story we're told is there is no one more powerful and strong and youthful than this guy. He's acknowledging, I am afraid of falling down.
Are the Saudis impatient now, or do they want? Are they on the other side? Where they?
Well, he's another great guy. You know, he gave me the famous line that I use a little bit. He said, "A year and a half ago, sir, you were a dead country. Now you're the hottest country anywhere in the world." He said that to me, and it's true. We were a dead country. We had a guy that was.
Were you a dead country during Biden era? Can you tell me under my video in the comment section? Like Trump always says like this, USA was a dead country. How it was dead? Like now everybody is suffering due to Trump. Everybody is facing inflation, gasoline prices, and it's the hottest country right now. Well, he started a war. It can be a hottest country, but in a negative way.
Wasn't respected. We had a country that was laughed at. He couldn't walk up a flight of stairs.
Nobody is respecting you, Mr. President, in Asian countries due to this war, due to this inflation.
Forget about down. He couldn't walk up a flight, but he was falling all over the place. I have to be careful because if I do trip or fall, it's got to be the biggest. That's why when I get out of those planes, I walk nice and slowly. I'm not looking to set any speed records. But we had an embarrassing country. We had a country that was going to fail. If this country would have failed if I didn't win
This isn't the first time Trump has brought this up. Now, you might say, David, this isn't really a huge deal. Well, we need to acknowledge the contrast between the healthiest president ever, on the one hand, and the accurate headline of oldest president ever regularly acknowledges he's afraid of falling down. That does not project the strength and alpha characteristics that many of his biggest supporters ascribe to him. Trump was asked about refunding proceeds from his illegal tariffs. And Trump said that we're giving the money to people who hate the country. I'm so sorry to break it to you, Donnie boy. The money goes to American companies because American companies paid the tariffs.
And we can't do that. And you'll see that, you know, we had a little setback with the Supreme Court. They said I can charge tariffs, but I have to do it a different way. And because of what they did, we have to pay back $160 billion. All they had to do is add one sentence, just one sentence. And that's, you don't have to pay anything taken in thus far back.
I just want to know what benefits you are getting from Trump tariff war. Trump is making U.S. allies angry. And let's talk about the common people of USA. What benefits still you are getting after Trump started tariff war with different countries all around the world, with the allies countries as well? Can you tell me under my video in the comment section what benefits you are getting except inflation?
But because they didn't add, and by the way, it was a close call too. There were justices that were powerful that I was right on the tariffs.
Right.
But because we lost by just 2 votes, you know, just little vote, 2 votes, we have to pay back $165 billion. They could have, with a little
2 little tiny Supreme Court votes.
one sentence, you don't have to pay back tariffs that have already been received. You start from this point. and you do it a different way. So we're doing it a different way. We're going to end up with the same. Actually, we'll end up with bigger numbers, actually, but it's a little more unwieldy, but it's the way it's been done. But it's so sad
Mr. President,
that the Supreme Court didn't want to save our country with one sentence, 106.
All right, guys, who thinks that Trump is lying and who thinks he's actually confused? We are now years into Trump talking about tariffs and who pays the tariffs. China paid the tariffs. Trump is suggesting that the tariff refunds go to China. But why would the tariff refunds go to China or any other country that hates us when those countries did not pay the tariffs? You import something, it gets to the port. The port authorities contact you and they go, hey, your crap is here. Your stuff is here. Your steel is here, whatever. If you want it released from the port, you've got to pay the tariffs to the U.S. Treasury. American company cuts a check, sends a wire to the U.S. Treasury. Does not involve China. Does Trump know this at this point and he's just lying to keep up the charade? Or is Trump still confused? Now, Andrew Ross Sorkin, interestingly, brings up that there are a lot of companies that have not, as of yet, requested the refunds on the tariffs. And Trump basically just goes full loyalty Mussolini. And he goes, I'm honored that they're not asking for the refunds. A reminder of the status quo of politics of loyalty and cronyism.
That topic, there's a whole number of very large companies, including Apple and Amazon and others, that have not sought reimbursements yet for the tariffs, meaning they haven't tried to collect refunds. And from what I understand, part of the reason that they have waited is because there is a worry about, frankly, offending you. Would you find it offensive for them to try to collect a refund?
I think it's brilliant if they don't do that. I actually think if they don't do that, they got to know me very well. I'm very honored.
He's sort of acknowledging, yes, I will be offended. And yes, I will try to hurt them. They know me very well.
By what you just said. If they don't do that, I'll remember them. I will tell you that, because I'm looking to make this country strong. Supreme Court could have helped us. Now they have birthright citizenship. They'll probably rule against us. No country in the world has it. It's hard.
And of course, many countries have birthright citizenship, but that is not really the subject of our discussion here. Trump is admitting his politics is a politics of loyalty and cronyism. He charged illegal tariffs paid by companies. And when someone suggests to him, even though they would be entitled to get their tariff back, their tariff payments back, they're worried about offending you and what you will do. And Trump goes, that's beautiful. That's absolutely right. And I will remember that. I will remember them. I think that that's a beautiful thing. Overt cronyism and loyalty tests. Donald Trump insists we control the Strait of Hormuz. Anything else is fake. Well, if we control it.
How anything else is fake? President Trump is not controlling the Strait of Hormuz because Iran have control. They have fully control. Trump said we have defeated the army. Trump said we have defeated their navy, defeated their air force. We have complete control. They have lost the war completely, and still he's saying anything else is fake. How Trump was requesting Iran to please open the Strait of Hormuz, and when they opened 2 days back, and he also posted, thank you Iran for opening the Strait of Hormuz, and then they again closed. They are trying to tell you that we have control on Strait of Hormuz, but Trump is saying no, we have full control. Listen to Trump.
And Trump wants it open. Why aren't ships going through it?
Very successfully, and the blockade has been a tremendous success. They said 2 days ago, we will open the strait. I said, no, we're not going to open the strait until we have a final deal. No, we want to open the strait. They said, we're not opening. We totally control the strait, just so you understand, for all the fake news out there.
And, Mr. President, we've seen.
There you go. Well, Trump closed it in order to get it open. And so it should be open, but we closed it. And ships go through it, but they don't. And we're in control, but we aren't. And Iran had better, except it's all up to me. Come on, guys. Come on.
Trump is totally confused right now.
Where was inflation when Joe Biden left office? I will tell you in a moment, but I will also play for you Donald Trump lying about this.
I just want to return for 1 second and make an analogy here. You saw what inflation did to the Biden legacy and administration. So 22% price increases. By the time he was leaving, it was down to about where it is now, about 3%. But not
No,
a single.
It was down to 5%. It wasn't down.
Well,
to
or 3, but not a
and
single
the reason
person.
it was down was because I had won the election and it started
Right.
falling after I.
Wow, Trump is taking credit for that time as well. You know, Trump was literally saying in this interview that there was a failed state. USA was a failed state, failed country, and that was about to fall. I came, and now it's the hottest country in the world. Let's watch about the inflation right now. What is the condition of inflation?
won the election and
Lie. Trump makes two claims: that when Biden left office, inflation was 5%, and that it was only down because Donald Trump had been elected but not yet sworn in. We have the data. It's up on the screen. As you can see, inflation peaked during the COVID phase. It peaked at 9.1%. And then it went down, and essentially hit its rough bottom in July of 2023, meaning we had all of July 23 to July 24, plus August and September and October and a few days of November under Joe Biden. And as you can see, inflation was all equally low. It got even down as low as 2.4%. And then as Donald Trump was sworn in, it basically was in that same window between two.
Now you can see the chart, inflation chart. It's literally almost the same in 2024 July and to 2025. So Trump is claiming when I was elected, the inflation went down. So do you believe Trump or do you believe this chart? Let me know in the comment section.
2.5% and 3.5%. Trump is lying that inflation was 5% when Biden left office. In fact, when Donald Trump took over in January of 2025, it was 3%. Trump is lying that it was his election in November that drove it down further. He is lying, and they let him get away with it on CNBC. Finally, Trump is asked, a deal might be signed today or tomorrow with Iran. If not, will you be bombing? And Trump goes, oh, I think we're going to be bombing.
So to be clear, you're saying that you need at least the prospects for a signed deal today and tomorrow, or else you would resume bombing Iran.
well, I expect to be bombing because I think that's a better attitude to go in with. But
Right.
we're ready to go. I mean, the military is raring to go. They are absolutely incredible. You know, I built the military in my first term. I'm using it now. The military, when I took it over from Barack Hussein Obama, they had just, it was so depleted, so sad.
Anyway, he gets back to his lies about the cupboards were bare. The military is raring to
Well, the visit of Vice President J.D. Vance to Pakistan is cancelled right now, and there are no negotiations going on between Iran and USA. What's going on in upcoming days, we'll see. I'll let you know about that as well. But right now, I can tell you the situation of Pakistan. Still, the city is blocked. The schools are closed. The offices are closed. I'm talking about Islamabad, Pakistan. Right now, I'm here in Islamabad, Pakistan, and the schools, roads, everything is closed just because the delegations of USA, they're expected to come at any moment, at any day. So that's why still there is a hope of negotiations between Iran and USA.
go. I expect to be bombing. So we're not really at the end of this 3 to 4 week war now in week 8, are we?
Well, guys, did you listen to President Trump? He was talking about inflation and he was saying like, no, the inflation rate during Biden era, that was very up. When I got elected, they went down. They went down completely to 3 to 5%. Then the host, Parkman, he just showed, he was saying, President Trump is totally lying. And he just showed the chart. And I can literally see the chart. So do you believe the chart, the inflation chart of USA, or do you believe President Trump? Let me know in the comment section, guys.